Today we're going to be making sticky apricot tofu. This is one of our new favorite recipes. You can find it on my blog or see the recipe below. There's kind of 4 components to this recipe, which makes it a little more, I guess, complex, but it's worth it, and it comes together pretty quickly. So there's like the rice. I'm actually using quinoa today because I just already had some cooked in my fridge. Don't want to make more. And the green beans. We're going to cook some fresh green beans. And then the sauce and the tofu. So we're going to start out with the tofu and get that baking so it's all crispy. I took it out of the package and I've been pressing it in this towel. And I'm just going to rip it into pieces. This is firm tofu, which I prefer extra firm or super firm, but this is just what I could find for today. And I'm going to tear it into little pieces into a bowl. And that kind of makes it into meat-like chunks, like the texture of it. And so I'm just gonna rip it into little bite-sized pieces into a bowl, and I'm gonna toss it with a tablespoon of soy sauce and a tablespoon of cornstarch. And the purpose of that is to add a little bit of flavor to the tofu. It adds some flavor to the actual tofu, not just in the sauce. And then the cornstarch helps absorb some of the moisture of the tofu, which gives it a crispy exterior. And you can use arrowroot powder too if you don't like to use cornstarch. I know it's not a whole food, but a little bit shouldn't hurt. So there's my bowl of the crispy tofu. Just gonna do, like I said, the tablespoon of soy sauce. You can also use tamari or liquid aminos, whatever you prefer to use. I'm just going to kind of toss that to get the soy sauce coated, and then the tablespoon of cornstarch. And then you can either air fry this, which is what I'm going to do. If you don't have an air fryer, you can bake it. Or if you don't mind the oil, you can just quickly pan fry it in your skillet. So there's my tofu. I'm going to put it into my air fryer now for about 10 minutes, shaking occasionally until it's just golden brown and crispy. All right, so while the tofu's in the air fryer, we're going to steam some green beans. So I just got a handful of fresh green beans at the store. You can make as many as you want for your family. And I just kind of chopped off the ends a bit. I'm just gonna put it in about an inch of water and turn that onto high heat to steam them. And then I'm going to make the apricot sauce. So you can use between a half a cup and 2/3 cup of apricot jam, or like low sugar apricot preserves. This is an apricot jam that I made myself in the summer, so next apricot season, if you have a friend with an apricot tree, try to get some fresh apricots, just blend them up with a tiny bit of sweetener if you like, or not. They're usually pretty sweet on their own. That's what this is, but you can also just buy apricot preserves. And I just put a clove of minced garlic in here, and then we're also going to add 2 tablespoons of more soy sauce, tamari, liquid aminos, whatever you prefer. 2 tablespoons of that, and 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. Rice vinegar is really common in Asian cooking, and it has a really great flavor. If you don't have any, you could probably use lime juice instead, or perhaps any other kind of vinegar, but this really does have a distinct taste. I recommend having it in your pantry. You'll use it for different things. And then we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of paprika, just regular paprika, and a half a teaspoon of onion powder. And stir that all together. And that is our sticky apricot coating for the tofu. So when the tofu is almost done, you're going to pour this sauce into a skillet, and it's going to start to bubble and get kind of sticky. And then we'll toss in the tofu, and I'll show you that. All right, the apricot sauce is getting a little bit bubbly here. This is my spatula from the tofu that's pretty much crispy now from the air fryer. So once this is bubbling, turn it up a little. The garlic is... All right, the sauce was getting bubbly, so I added the tofu straight from the air fryer. I thought I was recording it, but I didn't hit record, so you missed that part. But here it is, getting all coated in the sauce. It's going to get even stickier as it kind of finishes cooking here for a minute. My green beans are steaming away, and my rice is cooked, so we're just about done. Okay, we're ready to assemble our bowl. It's gonna be so good. It smells delicious. I have a little quinoa in my bowl. I'm just going to get some of our freshly steamed green beans on the side. You can obviously use any vegetable, but I think these fresh green beans go really well. Broccoli, frozen broccoli, whatever you have in the freezer really will work. Then I'm gonna get some of our sticky tofu on top. It's nice and saucy and sticky. My kids even love this meal, even though it kind of has some complex flavors. It's just really yummy. So there's our dish, and you could put some cilantro on top or some green onions. I don't have any of those right now. I'm just gonna do a sprinkle of sesame seeds. You could do a drizzle of sesame oil for flavor. I'm okay with using a little bit of oil for flavorings, but it's also kind of good to keep those low, so I'm not gonna do those today. I'm gonna put a little red pepper flakes on top, and there we have a delicious, well-balanced, very satisfying meal, high in nutrients and delicious in flavor. I forgot to mention that if you are overwhelmed about tofu, check out my tofu course. I answer every question you could possibly have about tofu, whether it's healthy or not, how to prepare it. I was sampling my food. The different kinds, the varieties, what they mean. It's a really useful course. It's $19.99, and I can post a promo code below so you can get it for cheaper. Really valuable, and it has 15 exclusive, really delicious tofu recipes in there.